This is Space Command to Zoom. All systems are go for your message to Matthew.
Hey, Matthew, it's your birthday. I'm in charge of the stars, and I'm here to say, hey, Matthew, you're the big star today. My name is Zoom, and I live on the moon, but I came down to Earth just to sing you this tune. 'Cause Matthew, it's your birthday today. A present for you I wanted to find, an outer space creature, a one of a kind. A wild wop or a kookle chew, an apple drop or a buzzard snoot, or maybe a three-eyed tickle shay for your birthday. Did you ask?
What's a kookle chew?
Well, up on the moon, it's nothing new. But that won't do for you on your birthday. I searched behind the clouds and stars. I even zoomed my flight to Mars and met my friend the Saucer Man. And he said,
hey, Zoom, I got the bestest plan. What your friend needs is something new. So how about a song just from you?
And so tonight, when you're in bed, I'll be singing to you as I zoom overhead. Singing Matthew, happy birthday. Singing Matthew, happy birthday. Singing Matthew, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Matthew. See you next year.
It doesn't.
Hold on to your butts.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
I got up this morning, put on my shoes, tied my shoes, went to the mirror, put a comb my hair, I made a move, know what to do. Try to break and run.
So I guess I have to ask where you found the ridiculous song.
That was actually a present from Dave Harvey.
That's my present from Dave Harvey?
He sent me a message earlier today and told me to play that for you.
Oh, well, that was sweet.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that song?
I had never heard of it before. Apparently, it was something in the 80s. You could just buy a cassette with your kid's name, and they just had that song and insert your kid's name into it.
That's
That was
sweet.
pretty ridiculous.
It's on YouTube.
It was.
So, yeah, he sent me a YouTube link and told me to play it for you.
So he won't he won't acknowledge anything about the show, but he will.
Well, he thought enough about you to wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
Not directly. He did it through me.
Right.
He wouldn't send you a direct birthday message, but
At least he was thinking about you.
He actually didn't even say happy birthday. He just sent a balloon in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to maybe think that Dave Harvey, like, maybe he just dislikes me. Maybe I have done something to him that has really.
I think he just
really
doesn't know how to understand his feelings for you. So he.
Do you think that's it?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All those dinners and drinks you bought him really pissed him off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
exactly.
Like
he doesn't know how to reward you with a thank you for that stuff. So he gave you a balloon today.
I just want a little love from Dave Harvey. Welcome everybody to the Lotus Cast, thelotuscast.com, at the Lotus Cast on the Twitters. Listen to us on strangelabel.com. Yeah, it's my birthday, guys. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys. At work today, somebody was like, "Oh, so you're going to be 39 forever?" And I was like, "Yes, 39.
Did
30.
they actually think you were 39? I was going to send you a happy 39th birthday thing today.
Yeah,
And then I
there was
deleted it.
Another girl who thought, when she found out my age, she was like, wow, I thought you were a lot older than that. I was like, that's great to hear. The grays on my sides are just, really, really fucking up my life. So,
But you have no plan to, like, just for men that thing.
I think it would just be false. Like, I would be lying to the world. And everybody knows. It's not like,
Because now it is weird because everybody at work, they've seen you this way. And if you just walk in tomorrow and it's colored in and it's, like a dark brown color and matches the rest of your hair.
How do you not address it?
Yeah.
Like,
so how do you, do they not call you out? Like, oh, your hair's not gray anymore.
I might as well come in with breast implants. And everybody, if I showed up to work tomorrow with breast implants, it is what. And my work, the people that love to comment on me, like the minute I walk in, if there's one, if I've changed one thing, like I changed my wardrobe. In the winter when I was wearing the sweater over the polo.
Yeah,
I was sweater Matt. Well, I changed that to just a button-up shirt, just like a regular button-up shirt. That was a 3-day ordeal for me. Where every day
they had
they're like,
comments
"Wow,
on it?
So you dropped the sweaters, huh?" Like it's summertime. Of course, I dropped the fucking sweaters.
You should wear a thong and just be constantly bending over.
Yeah, just whale tail everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like your office is just really boring. They need something to talk about, and right now the big gossip is Matt doesn't wear sweaters.
Is my attire. It's like before, like as it started to warm up, one of the pharmacists actually asked me. They did say, "So when it warms up, what can we expect you to be wearing?" And I was like, "Is this really? This is what we need to worry about?"
Seriously, they're going. Did they do that to anybody wearing a sweater?
No, I am honestly like a celebrity at my work. And I know that sounds like I'm stroking my ego, but if you would come to work with me, I am a celebrity. That's where we're at.
Well,
So.
I mean, they do think that you're the same age as them.
Today was a bukkake fest for me, and it was kind of embarrassing.
What did they give you for your birthday?
You had a bunch of guys come on you?
Yeah, I had a bunch of dudes just jizz all over my face.
Wow, what an open-minded workplace.
I put one of those dog cones on around my neck so that I wouldn't waste any of the semen.
Well, and also to protect your button-up shirt.
You didn't want to mess up that shirt. That's right. So I went into work today, and the day started off with I got an email from the HR lady. And she said, "Hey, happy birthday! Hope you have a great day." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." Now,
it came up on my HR software that it's your birthday today, and
so
it auto emails you "Happy birthday."
Right, so I was kind of like, "All right, well, there we are." And I wasn't like, I haven't really talked to anybody. I haven't told anybody it's my birthday, and I'm working, and we're just going through the motions, and then like right there in the morning, I hear over the loudspeakers at work the main boss is like, "Hey, it's Matt Charles' birthday today. Matt Charles, happy birthday, Matt Charles." And then everybody was like, "Oh, Matt!" Like there was an applause in the pharmacy. Everybody was. I was like, "Oh,
like you
thanks, guys."
Something?
Does this happen with everybody else's birthday or just yours?
No. And that's right at that moment it got awkward because the person standing next to me said, "I've been here for 4 years. And they've never done that for me." And that's just an announcement over the loudspeaker.
Well, she's not a celebrity.
Right. Well, he's not the celebrity. I have the celebrity status. So then, as the day goes on, like one of the girls in the pharmacy is like, "Hey, it's your birthday. I'm going to buy your lunch today." And so she buys my lunch, which was really cool.
Just a glass of jizz.
Just well, I mean, we got to throw cum in my face. It's a bukkake
Where's she
fest.
getting a glass of jizz?
They
brings it from
they
home.
They decorated my desk. They put like a big happy birthday over my desk, and then they put happy birthday like ribbon all over, and like a couple birthday cakes like plastered up on the wall. And I was like, okay, well that was really cool. That's nice. And then later on in the day, they do it like the boss is again. He's like, "Hey, we're having we have a really important meeting in the pharmacy. I need everybody to come down. I have a few things that we really need to talk about," which hasn't been out of the normal recently because there's been some pretty serious things going on, and we've been having these meetings pretty regularly. So I went upstairs, I grabbed some paperwork, and I come down, and right when I walk in, everybody's there. There's a cake, and everybody's like, "Happy birthday!" And they start singing "Happy Birthday." There's a huge cake, and it's just all day with this. And at my job, I like they hired me and demoted somebody else who still works there, which always makes for an awkward situation. And I like he got really quiet and just stopped talking to me the rest of the day, and I kind of felt, as though I was just getting just too much attention, and I was a little embarrassed.
Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for that guy to just demoralize him further.
Maybe they just want to break his spirit.
Get him to quit.
They're like, we've been trying to get him to quit. We demoted him. We made him work for his new boss who had his old position. Like, what else can we do? He hasn't quit yet.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. And then at the end of the day, I went into my boss office. I was like, "Hey, thank you. I really appreciate everything. Like, you guys have been really great today." And he's like, "Matt," he's like, you've been really good here. We really love having you on board. You've really affected everybody's hearts and souls here." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what type of responsibility is this? This is me. Like, imagine me. This is who they're telling this to. It goes to show you what a two-faced motherfucker I am, because I'm not. This is not me at all.
They don't know the real you. They don't know how demoralizing you can be.
Inside, I'm just boiling all day. Like, I just can't wait. I just need Joe around so that I can fucking tell him he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to get out of here so I can go strangle Joe.
I can't wait to get out of here. So that's the thing is I don't even see Joe on a regular basis. I used to be able to beat up on him on Thursday, then on the weekend, and then Sundays. Like, there was regular.
Now when I do see Matt, and it's like once a month, he's saved up a bunch of stuff to just beat me down with.
Wait, what? Just unload both barrels.
It's like, what have you done to deserve people being so nice to you?
Again, if you
it's
worked
Mac's
with me,
work personality, his fake work persona that
you
they
guys,
don't
you
know
guys
is a serial
love
killer.
My work personality.
I attribute him to being like a serial killer, where he's like the nice guy, but they don't really know that like after work you're just a monster who kills people.
Pretty much.
And then when they go to interview your coworkers after like you've been caught, and they're just like, I can't imagine that's not the same person I know.
I just don't understand. I mean, he came over to the barbecues. He was so friendly. He was like the best neighbor. He always loaned me tools. Come to find out that he has 3 women trapped inside of his house, and he's been impregnating them for 10 years.
He always had the best jokes, too. He was so funny.
Work Matt is Normal Bates. Show Matt is Norma Bates. And then at home he's Norman Bates.
Oh man, it is. Yeah, if you guys worked with me, you would be like, wow, this is a really stand-up guy. He's actually a good friend. You actually being able to beat up on Joe keeps me from beating my wife. Like, my kids would be, I would. You know how many times I'd have to be saying like, oh yeah, my kid slipped and fell. You know how many times I would have to use that excuse if I didn't have Joe in my life?
Joe, do you suffer from battered woman syndrome?
I do. It's been a big complex of mine, and it was worse when Dave was around because he would just pile on.
We're gonna have to take you to a woman shelter.
I know. I can just keep coming back too.
I would love to admit Joe into a women's shelter, just a battered women's shelter. It's like, why are you here?
And
you don't understand.
And I just make excuses for Matt, like, you don't understand. He works so hard. He needs this.
I'm just, I mean, sometimes, they have a temper when they get home from work.
But he provides for his family, so this is the least I could do.
If he didn't beat me, it'd be his kids or his wife.
I can't put them in danger.
It's not that big of a deal. He's nice to me sometimes. He's been known to buy me a Mai Tai. I'm on his cell phone plan.
Do you think you look older than Joe?
Oh God, yeah. Joe's got that Mexican gene in him, you know. Like he doesn't have any grays at all in his hair, you know. So
Joe does have a fantastic head of hair.
My brother has a lot of gray hair. It's weird. My younger brother, like he's got the salt and pepper thing going, like worse than you. And he's 33.
Mine looks better with, like, obviously if I trim up the sides of my hair, like that's like I don't really have any grays on the top of my head.
No, it's really all just on the side. My brother's is like all around. It's sides, it's top. I mean, he's got a good head of hair, but like it's salt and peppery.
Right.
And he even asked me, he's like, "So what product are you using to color in your hair?" I'm like, "Well, I don't. I just don't have any gray right now." I mean, I'm sure I will at some point. It's just not currently.
Shoe polish.
Yeah,
I got my birthday present today. I got my ticket to go see Metallica.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you already knew about it, right?
I did already know about it, yeah. But I got it. It's like I physically see it, so.
Mine's right next to my bed.
I had the same birthday present, except I got mine last month.
I had the same birthday present, but I bought it 2 months after my birthday.
You bought it yourself?
And I bought it myself. I gave it to myself.
I'm still really pumped about that concert. Like, I can't fucking wait to go see Metallica.
I got an email. It's like a month from now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So, I mean,
you're taking the day off to party.
It's just every once in a while, like I think about it, and I'm just like, fuck yes, I'm going to be there at Gillette to see Metallica.
I'm actually getting less pumped about it because I've been thinking because
I'm going. Oh,
exactly. No, I bought the floor ticket, and I've been like planning to work my way, get right up in the front because I love them so much, and then I'm thinking like, I'm gonna have to get there early. Then what if I have to pee? I don't want to have to work my way out of the crowd.
You can't
to pee.
keep drinking because you'll just have to pee more, and then you have to work your way back out.
I'll have to sit through Volbeat.
I'll have to stand the whole time.
Yeah,
I can't sit down and relax.
I do not plan to do that. I plan to go with Joe.
Yeah,
Joe's gonna drive me, or I'll beat the shit out of him. And we're going to tailgate, I assume. I can only assume we're going to tailgate. And then when they start performing is when we will make our way into the stadium.
See, I've never been to Gillette to tailgate. Like, do they allow that?
Yeah, it's allowed.
Oh, all right. Because, you know, like, if you go to, like the Xfinity Center, they don't allow you to drink in the parking lot.
Adam, do you realize how stupid of a fucking question Joe just asked?
Why? I just said because if you go to the other concert venues, they don't allow you to drink in the parking lot.
Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
Every football season, all you see are your friends posting pictures, tailgating.
I never see friends that go to the game, and if they do, they post a picture of them already at the game.
I guess you don't have friends that tailgate. It's really weird.
I mean,
I've never been
I don't think
tailgating.
that's a stupid question coming from Joe, considering how little Joe goes out.
Yeah, I don't go out that often. You know I have no social life.
I know you don't have any social life, but like Davide, all those guys, like they go.
I never went tailgating with Davide. I mean, I would have.
I'm not saying that you did. I know that.
I know of Davide and tailgating as separate things.
It's an enigma. Who knew that they did tailgating at the fucking Gillette Stadium?
I didn't know about it.
Ridiculous.
I knew they did it at friggin' Notre Dame because they did it at Rudy, but like that's about it. Like I haven't been there personally for when this was happening. I've never been tailgating.
I got my Galaxy S8 too, which I'm excited about.
You got a Galaxy S8?
I did. I have it. It's in a box.
The Edge or the regular Galaxy?
The Edge. Oh, I guess it's whatever. But it's the S8. They have two. There's the S8 or the S8 Plus, which is the large one.
Which one did you get? The Plus or the regular?
I got the regular size one. I don't need a big fucking phone like that. UPS kind of fucked me over yesterday. So my phone was supposed to come in. Mine and my and Rochelle's phone were supposed to come in last night, and it was like I looked at the app when I got home, and it said it was delivered at 5:00. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, and I asked Rochelle, I was like, where's our phone? And she's like, oh, we haven't seen it. I don't have the phone. So it said it was left at the side door. So I look all around my house, and I can't find any packages anywhere. So, and I look out in the mailbox, and we got nothing. So I'm like, well, this is weird. So I call UPS. I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? Where's my package? I was actually a lot. I was more polite than
You were
that.
work Matt on the phone?
I was work Matt. Yeah, I was like, hey, just to let you guys know, it was like side door. It said it was dropped off at 5. I got nothing. She's like, okay, well, you got to call the supplier. So I call the supplier. They're like, oh, yeah, it says it was dropped off at the side door. I was like, I know, I got the message too, but it's not there. And she's like, okay, well, let me call UPS. So I was on hold for like a half hour. And finally she comes back like, they're investigating it. It'll take 2 to 3 days.
Did it just come the next day?
I walked out to my car this morning to leave, and both phones are in the back seat of our CRV.
So what, did they like deliver it to a neighbor and a neighbor put it there, or do you think the guy did it?
They delivered it to the back seat of my car.
That's weird.
Yeah, like they opened the back seat, and threw it in the fucking back seat. Like
what happens to me?
I never heard that before.
What happens to me a lot is I get a lot of Amazon deliveries, but it'll say delivered, and then I can't find the box. And then usually what happens is it comes the next day. And I think what happens is because my deliveries come at the end of the day, the guy just marks it as delivered and then just does it the next morning or something.
Right.
Because
this was weird. And then the lady calls me today a little bit later, and she's like, hey, we're just following up on this investigation. I was like, listen, I found the phones, but somebody put them in the back seat of our car. Like I don't even know why you'd put it in the back seat. Wouldn't you put it in the front seat? But she was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm really sorry, but I've heard of this before. I was just like, what? Why? Why have you heard of this?
Why couldn't they put it at the door?
Yeah, why wasn't it at the door? Why wasn't it when you knock on the door? Like, it just didn't really make sense.
Because if they put it in a car, that assumes that somebody is home. So they could have knocked on the door and given it to you.
Yeah, I know. And then it's like kind of technically they're breaking and entering, fucking... throwing it in the back of the car. I've heard of this
before. It's one of our standard drop zones.
She was like, I'll talk to the supervisor. So
yeah, like stop putting customer packages in their car.
It was very strange. Did you guys hear about the old, I'm sure you have by now, the old Aaron Hernandez?
No, what happened to him?
Is he injured?
Yeah, he hurt himself.
Well, I heard he is scot-free. He didn't kill those people.
He's proven innocent?
Yeah, they proved him innocent in a jury of the court of law.
Justice is served.
Yeah. Justice was served. He did not kill those people.
He hanged himself.
What? This is news.
Yeah.
Did they report it on this?
I think that it's been going around.
Oh. Why?
Yeah, actually, you know how we were talking earlier about like the when they interview the neighbors and they're like, oh, I can't believe he would do something like that. I was I was at a mechanic shop and they had the local news on, and they were interviewing like one of his friends, I guess, and they kept saying the guy, this big fucking idiot, was like, oh, I mean, just nobody knew. The really, like, Aaron, he was so good, he was so kind to people, and I feel like people just didn't know that, and they're so wrapped up in this, what they've seen in the media, they didn't realize what a good person.
I read a couple articles that were like that, like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady said the same thing, like he's a smart guy, and he's a nice guy, but he just hangs with the wrong people, and they really had tried to, like, get him to be with the right people, but when anybody from his, like, hometown came to interact with him, it was like he was a different person.
Yeah.
You can take the thug out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the thug.
It just seems so ridiculous. Like, he had signed such a huge contract, and then all of a sudden he's, like, murdering people. Why can't you just be a millionaire and not kill people?
Well, he was...
Right.
I guess he did some before he was in the NFL. Like, he had problems in college, too.
Oh, really? I don't know. It just seems weird, like, he got proved innocent, but somebody... not proved innocent, like, the jury said that he was not guilty anyway. Like, there just wasn't enough evidence in his double murder trial, but somebody... The theory is now that somebody daredeviled him and murdered him.
Why were they conducting the murder trial for those two guys when he's already serving a life sentence for the
to get
Odom Lloyd murder?
Closure for those two families.
Yeah.
because
you still have to be tried.
Yeah, and that way the families can still present a civil suit after that trial.
So they can just get their payout.
Yeah, because it's like OJ. Like even though he was declared not guilty, the civil suit said that he owed them a lot of money.
Why do you think he waited till after this trial was over to kill himself? Like a few days after that trial ended.
I would only assume that he's probably been contemplating it for a while.
Yeah. They did say that he had like carved something in his head with blood, like some Bible
Yeah,
verse
he carved Austin 3:15 into his forehead.
I mean, a lot of people are saying that they are surprised that he would do this. His lawyer came out and said he suspects foul play because this isn't the person he knew wouldn't commit suicide.
Yeah, well, all those people that thought he was such a nice guy didn't think he was a murderer either.
Yeah.
So he gave so much to cancer donations and.
Well, the funny thing about the whole thing, well, after he commits suicide, technically he is an innocent man, like because even though he was convicted for the one murder, and a very old Massachusetts law says that because it was in like an appeals process and because he died, he's technically it cancels out his original conviction, so he died an innocent man.
It's just like a weird Massachusetts loophole.
Yeah.
So does that mean like
a bunch of the older states had it because it's an old English law, but some of the states have like gotten rid of it, so they think because this happened with Aaron Hernandez that now he died an innocent man, they might overturn the law.
Does that mean like the victims can't like make claims against his estate now, or?
I'm not sure. I just know like legally, even though everyone knows that he's a murderer and he was guilty, legally in the books he was innocent.
A lot of people are upset about that, saying he's like innocent now that he's dead. But I'm like, I feel like justice has been served.
Yeah, I mean, now we don't have to pay to like keep him alive for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some people posting like, how suicide should never be the punchline, and it's like, dude, he was a piece of shit. I mean, there's no getting around it. He killed himself, so good on him.
It is weird. They describe the cell, and it's like he hung himself from like his bed sheet that he attached to the window, but they're like there are no bars on the window. It's just like a weird thick glass with like a metal frame, and it's 3 feet above the ground. So like, how did it really work? Like, how did he hang himself?
Well, you don't have to be off the ground. You can just like tie it to the window and then just slouch down.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, once you're passed out, you're not pulling on it as much.
I mean, it's like those guys who like masturbate while they like tie a belt to their bedpost and like just pull against it.
Huh.
Right, like what happens is you strangle yourself up into the point where you're going to pass out, and then your body starts to lose the ability to lift itself up, and then you just fall further down, and all your weight's on it, and then you're strangled to death.
Well, they said he did it in the middle of the night, so like it was like something like 3 a.m. when they found him, and he had blocked the door so that they couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
he built a gallows and jumped off, snapped his neck.
Aaron Hernandez. If we had Dave Harvey on the show, we'd be playing the fucking Gladiator music.
Does Shano still wear his Aaron Hernandez jersey?
He might break it out again because
for like Halloween. He'll probably like turn himself into a zombie and wear the thing.
Yeah, I put a rope around his neck.
Yeah,
that could be a collector's item now. Do you think those are going for big bucks on eBay?
You think so?
They could be. They'll never sell them again.
So check on eBay, see how much a fucking Aaron Hernandez.
It would be funny if Saturday Night Live had done like an Aaron Hernandez sketch this past weekend, just about him like getting off his court case, and then all of a sudden he's dead, and it's like because he saw the SNL sketch.
They won't even like make a custom jersey. Like if you order a custom Hernandez with his number, they won't make it. Like if you had a different number in Hernandez, like that would work. But
they're all around $60 and up. Some of them are around $200.
Yeah, it's not that much.
What's size 40? A lot of them are size 40. I don't know what that means.
You have to be 40 years old to wear them.
Yeah, maybe.
I got one more year to go.
He ended his life doing what he loved doing, killing people.
God damn it, Adam. That was a Facebook meme, right?
I think I saw it on like a Reddit comment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen
Yeah.
something like that floating around. Like the day
I've
of,
seen
like
so many.
my feed was like blowing up. Like people were sharing the news article, and I'm like, seriously, nobody else in your feed has shared this. Like you have to share it too.
I've seen that fucking hangman meme like 47 times.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Ugh, people, man.
Well, he was killing himself. The Patriots visited the White House.
I did remember reading articles that were like, well, the Patriots have gone on as as they intended to, and then like there was some ESPN articles that were just like, it's terrible that the Patriots haven't canceled their visit to the White House. And
Why?
I was just like, why? It didn't make any sense. The guy's just like, they're not even going to acknowledge that Aaron Hernandez killed himself. But they did release a statement saying that, like, we know that he killed himself, but we don't have any comments at this time.
Yeah, I mean, why are we expecting, like, he's been in prison for a few years now, so,
Yeah.
like, why, I'm sure they've already been asked and said their piece about Aaron Hernandez, and why would they want to associate with him past that, Like, shit sucks, I get it, but...
It is weird how Hernandez and Gronk were like the best 1-2 tight end combo that there was, and now he's killing himself in prison, and Gronk is just being a complete goon at the White House. Getting into WrestleMania.
There is a whole thing now about how the family, Aaron Hernandez's family, is trying to get his brain donated to science so they can study it for CTE. But they're complaining because they feel like the medical examiner is illegally holding his head hostage.
That's ridiculous.
Did they try to blame his killing on CTE?
I guess they're trying to donate it so it can be studied for CTE. I think it's
Joe,
just that he's an idiot.
Can you find like a video or that new Linkin Park song? Just as a side note right now. Like if you just... I think it's like Goodbye something or other. It was funny, is last week we were talking about Octane.
Yeah.
And I got into one of our vans at work, and it has... it's a newer van that we purchased, and it's got Sirius Satellite on it for like, I don't know, 60 days or something, free trial.
Yeah.
And
did you throw on Octane?
No, Octane was on when I got in the van.
Nice.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Was Joe driving that van?
No, it wasn't.
What song
Toad
was
the
on
Wet
there?
Sprocket was on.
Oh. Which DJ was on there?
I didn't hear a DJ. I heard a little bit of music. So your boy Adam, Bill O'Reilly.
He's my boy?
Yeah, he's your boy.
Tucker Carlson's my boy.
Well,
Tucker Carlson.
Good news for Tucker Carlson, I guess.
He's taking over.
I don't know. Bill O'Reilly, it's weird. He's a weird person in the sense that like he's just I don't know. I feel like he's a terrible person. He just instigates people and
he's definitely a scumbag.
Yeah, like I don't know why he has like the biggest ratings of any like news personality. It's strange to me. Like I don't know if people hate watching him or if they really like 4 million people just agree with everything he says. But
oh no, there's a lot of people that agree with what he says, and like I know people at work that are huge Bill O'Reilly fans.
Are they willing to excuse the sexual harassment? Or did they think it was just the media like ganging up on him?
They are making excuses for the Bill O'Reilly. They're just like, like there's he hasn't been convicted. The normal stuff, which he hasn't really been convicted. So
he hasn't been convicted because he just paid people off. But that's like,
I mean, he hasn't really done anything illegal. Like,
right?
I mean, he's just like cost people like business opportunities
exactly.
for not.
He's just a terrible like work associate. But like to the fact that he's paid people off to the tunes of millions of dollars says something about like how bad it is. Like you don't just pay somebody millions of dollars if their claim had no merit.
Yeah, it's clearly just to avoid any of that stuff. He's like, just take the money and don't bother me.
I'm a huge fan of Tucker Carlson.
Are you really? Why?
Oh my god, he's so funny, dude. I love watching clips of Tucker Carlson.
Is he the guy with the bow tie?
Yeah,
he looks like he's got a fucking toupee on. His hair is all stupid.
He does look like sort of like an old man child.
He's just so like when he just baits those people. Like he's like, oh yeah, come on, and they're all excited, and you know they're gonna like, oh, I'm gonna get on Fox News and I'm gonna prove my point.
Yeah.
And then he picks like the stupidest thing.
Yeah, and it stumbles most
And
people.
they stumble on it, and they're just tied up. And then he always ends every interview with like somehow just calling it. Well, I mean, listen, you know what? You're obviously a well-educated person. You went to school, but you're just dumb. Like he just always hits them. He builds them up a little bit and just smashes them down. And it's
I like the
always
like
really fun
sometimes
to
it doesn't work. Like occasionally you'll see somebody like I saw one that was like Bill Nye the Science Guy when they were talking about
That one was
climate
great.
change. Yeah, and like he couldn't argue with Bill Nye like correctly, and Bill Nye just like had the complete upper hand on him.
That's not the way I saw it. He had Bill Nye completely on tilt.
Oh wait, what?
They were arguing about climate change.
Yeah.
And Bill Nye just went on some rant about like Trump and Russia.
No,
at the end.
I think what's stupid about arguing against climate change, for one, is that you are not a climate change expert. So for you, or even a weather expert, or even a scientist, you're just a media personality. So for you to claim that it doesn't exist and that, you know, scientists are making it up just sort of paints you as the moron by default.
Well, Bill Nye has no knowledge of any earth science or any
Bill Nye
climatology.
is a scientist.
Bill Nye is a mechanical engineer. He's done no study of any type of climatology.
Yes, but like when there's an entire scientific community of climate scientists that have said climate change is happening, why is it a bad thing for people to deny? Like why can't you just go along with scientists that are saying like this is happening? Like what is your worldview where you are not a scientist?
Nobody's denying it. They're denying are humans the cause of climate change, and what will the effects be?
It's obvious that we're the cause of climate change. A lot of climate change.
Definitely not obvious.
Oh, so like all the smog where you can't breathe, like that's not an obvious human side effect?
That definitely contributes to it, but is
okay, so what is the other thing coming from?
Hold on. Well, that definitely contributes to it, but we're
cycle?
not the cause of it.
But they've just said yes. Through all of the data that they've done and all the research they've done and all the data they've collected, these climate scientists are saying, yes, it's definitely humans. So why are you fighting that if you do not have the
that's
expertise?
Not a consensus.
That is the consensus. Why are you fighting that if you do not have that
there
expertise?
There are plenty who don't agree with that.
Joe,
who are not
Joe,
scientists.
These are clearly false flags.
Okay.
They're false flags.
But they're not. The people who are denying it are not scientists and have done no research in it.
Joe, false flag.
Bill Nye's done no research in it.
How do you know? Are you living with Bill Nye and watching him 24/7?
He has no degrees in that type of science. He's a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, but why deny the people who do have degrees in it then?
Hold on. To be fair, are you living with the climate change deniers? And are you seeing all the studies that they have?
What studies have they done
Bill
denying the
Nye
climate change?
Has the same qualifications to argue it as Tucker Carlson does.
Yes.
Joe, I got something to just go ahead and shut all this down right now.
Oh yeah, what's that?
False flag.
False flag.
False flag.
What are they talking about in the chat?
False flags, Joe. That's what they're talking about.
There's always something else going on in there.
But yeah, I do like Tucker Carlson. He has set up some pretty funny bits. Bill O'Reilly. I mean,
did you watch anybody? You probably didn't, Adam, because John Oliver did a piece on Bill O'Reilly this past weekend. And I didn't know this, but Bill O'Reilly wrote like a bunch of romance fiction novels, and then he recorded the book like for audiobook. He like did the voice for it, so like they cut out a bunch of his like sex scenes that he wrote or that he's just narrating, and it's just creepy to listen to Bill O'Reilly like narrating sex scenes.
I mean, he's clearly a man who wants to get some action.
Yeah. But he was talking about like kneading somebody's skin with his tongue.
Could Bill O'Reilly not just like, could he not get his dick wet any other way than to harass people at work?
It is bizarre because you would think like he's a man who is very powerful. Obviously, he's the top person at Fox News.
He's a man of means.
Yeah, and he has quite a bit of money. You would think he'd be able to get women without like sexually harassing them at work, you know?
But don't you think a man with that much money and power has earned the right to sexually harass women whenever he wants?
Well, he clearly thinks so.
Yeah.
Well, if you put it that way, Adam.
Well, my favorite part about his statement from his lawyer is that these are all like lies drummed up by the liberal media to kill Bill O'Reilly, and that he has evidence that he will present shortly. Like, why can't you present it now when he's in trouble? Like, what do you say?
Because he's
Who's saying their lies
gavel.
drummed up?
What?
Who's saying their lies drummed up?
That's what his lawyer put out as a statement, that they were lies drummed up by the liberal media.
That sounds like a false.
But
lie.
that he has evidence that he will reveal shortly. But like, why are you waiting to reveal it?
It definitely hasn't been proven because there's been no, like, you just paid him off to go away, so nothing's been proven.
Well, I mean, they do know that he paid off women, and a lot of women have come forward saying that they've been harassed by Bill O'Reilly. It's sort of like a Cosby situation.
He rapes, but he saves.
But with less women.
He saves more than he rapes.
And no sex.
But he does rape.
Like, none of them were successful. They were just harassments.
He was on, he did the news in Boston back in, like...
Oh, did he? He was the news anchor?
He was on WCVB for a while.
I didn't know that.
In the 80s.
Alex Jones is all fucking wrapped up in court. And the funniest thing that I think to come out of it is that his lawyer put out a statement saying that his show is he's a character.
Yeah.
And it's purely entertainment.
He doesn't believe a lot of it. Like, Alex Jones did show up on...
the Hulk Hogan defense?
He did show up on Stern, and he sort of admitted to the same thing. He didn't come right out and say it, but he does say that he's like a bigger personality on the radio.
Right. So I like Alex Jones. I mean, he's one of these fucking crackpot conspiracy entertainers. If you don't know who he is, I recommend you just go on a fucking rabbit hole YouTube, video spree, or watch a bunch of Alex Jones videos because they're ridiculous. And he kind of advocate. He was one of those big advocators for like the Pizzagate shit. So he just stuff like that. Like he's a huge 9/11.
They also say he was the one that sort
theorist.
of instigated President Trump into thinking that Obama wiretapped him. Because they said that Trump was listening to his show, and that's when Alex Jones said something about how he had evidence of wiretapping or something, and then Trump just went off on it, even though they haven't really been able to find any evidence.
Yeah. If you actually, his Infowars.com, I guess, is a show. I've watched a few. Like, if you sit and watch through a whole one, he definitely is playing it up, because, like, the highlights you see on YouTube and stuff are, like, way over the top. And, like, he's not like that all the time. I mean, he's definitely a fucking insane... He goes on insane rants that, like, are way off the deep end. But, I mean, a lot of the times he can be normal, too.
He's trying to get custody of his kids. And so they have him, in court and obviously testifying. And
so they're trying to say that he's not crazy? Is that
what's that?
They're trying to say that he's not crazy, so... They're saying, that's just a character he does.
Right. So, do you think this is gonna, like, a guy who makes his career off of spreading all of this shit? Like, you think it's gonna hurt his career? Like, is Alex Jones? Because the conspiracy nuts go like really crazy for this stuff, and they really follow him hardcore. Like, they cite there's a contractor that comes by my work on occasion, and he gets in deep, and he's a firm believer in the Pizzagate, all of it. Like, he 100% he's in it. He thinks that it's going on, that the fucking pizza place is a cover up for a bunch of pedophiles. It's really disturbing to hear him talk about it, but he always cites like Alex Jones and listening to Infowars.
Well, there is definitely a pedophile cover-up. They're not meeting at a pizza parlor, but I mean, you just look at the Barney Frank stuff. There's definitely like perverted stuff going on in the government.
I don't think it's going to hurt him so much, only because like I feel like those people get their information solely from him and very few limited sources. So like the people reporting about.
Hold on. Wait, what, Adam?
He says there's a pedophile ring, but it's not at the pizza place.
I mean, the Pizzagate thing, they're not secretly meeting at a pizza parlor, but there's definitely like sex rings in Congress
with pedophiles.
Yeah,
a pedophile Congress ring, but it's not pizza. It's
where?
like tacos
Where's
or
where's the pedophile? Where's the proof of the pedophile ring?
When Barney Frank was brought up on charges for running a prostitution ring out of his boyfriend's apartment, he said, if you prosecute me for this, I'll bring down everyone in the Senate and Congress. And
I don't remember this
It was just
happening.
completely brushed under the rug after that.
I don't remember this happening at all. I feel like that would be big
a long
news.
time ago.
I feel like this would be big news if this was a thing.
Well, yeah, I really didn't hear this at all. Where did this happen?
It was in 1985.
Wait.
Hold on. I'm just going to Google Barney Frank prostitution child predator ring.
That's a lot of words. That is a very wordy Google search, Joe. I don't feel like you're going to come up with many results.
You think I'm lying about this?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Like you have me up on the you have me up against the wall here. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm skeptical.
On Wikipedia, in 1985, Frank was still publicly closeted. He hired
So he's
Steve
gay?
Goby.
He's gay. That's it. He's closeted. He's a gay man.
Well, it's known now.
Okay. So what does that have to do with pedophilia?
He threatened to out everyone in Congress.
But what does that have to do with pedophilia? Just that he's gay, and that he had sex with a gay prostitute.
But he got nailed because he was running a prostitution ring out of his apartment that had underage men working there.
Well, there's
he wasn't
where's the
running it;
proof
his
of the-
boyfriend was, and they were.
He was single at the time, thus not committing adultery. He did pay someone for sex with personal funds, which is illegal in the state of Massachusetts.
Well, yeah, prostitution is illegal.
Frank hired
So,
Goby to
he's
run
got that
errands and allowed him to live at his home, where Frank obviously hoped he would be rehabilitated and renounce his life of sin. The only problem, Goby kept on working as a prostitute from Frank's home. The congressman maintained that he had no knowledge that his digs were being used as a brothel and said that he kicked Goby out once he learned that what the escort had been doing there.
So this guy Barney wasn't wrapped up in it. It seems like the guy that he hired.
Yeah, and
was
then
wrapped-
he submitted himself to the House Ethics Committee and told him to do a full investigation because he wanted to prove that he didn't know, and the investigation found that he did not know anything.
Doesn't seem like he's really deep rooted into Congress prostitution rings of pedophilia. Where's
It
the
just seems like
pedophilia?
he was gay,
that
and he
ties
didn't
into
realize
Congress?
his gay boyfriend was running as a prostitute and using his house as a brothel.
I'm not saying there's proof, and there is no proof. I'm saying I believe that there are pedophiles in Congress.
But I don't.
It's a fact that
think
he
that Barney Frank is one of them. I just think that he's gay.
I didn't say.
Okay, so when we start this,
all I'm saying is he threatened to bring down Congress if they prosecuted him. And
when we started this conversation, Adam, you said you didn't think that there were the pedophilia rings going on at a pizza place, but in Congress it's definitely happening. And then you said, then you quoted, or not quoted, but then you cited Barney Frank saying that he was going to out everybody for everything they've done. I see nothing about pedophilia here.
I'm sure there are probably closeted members of
what's not to
Congress,
follow?
but there's
what do you mean,
nothing
what's
in
not
there
to
with
follow?
child prostitution or child predator leagues or anything like that. There's nothing in the story about that.
I don't see an article here that says
It's just
Barney
that he's
Frank,
gay
baby
and that
Frank.
his boyfriend was a prostitute and was using his house as a brothel and he didn't know about it.
Yeah, those are the facts, but it was all swept under the rug, and he was.
What is there to sweep under? Those are the facts. There's no what is there to prosecute?
Because he threatened to out the rest of Congress or everyone that was
They
involved
ran
in
a whole
Congress.
ethics commission against him. Just to prove that he didn't know anything.
Yeah, they voted. It just said 408 to 15. They voted against him, and when he threatened to bring everyone down with him, that's when they backed off.
Well, regardless, he was voted back into office from Massachusetts, so clearly people thought he was doing a good job.
Wait, where did he threaten to take everybody down? I haven't seen.
Nothing I've read about him says he's threatening anybody, but
Didn't it kind of sound like that he was the one that admitted it and then said,
he
like,
did
hey?
admit it, and then it says that he went to the House Ethics Commission and told them to do a full investigation.
A full investigation. Like, he came clean on everything.
Yeah, but he wasn't directly he was involved in that his boyfriend was running the thing that he didn't know about, but they were still going to bring him down for it. They were going to get him thrown out of Congress.
But they didn't.
Because he threatened to bring down
It
other
doesn't
members
matter.
of Congress if
He
they
still
brought
got
him down.
he got voted back into Congress. It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I still don't see where he threatened
If he had criminal charges, he wouldn't have been voted back in.
He conceded that he had poor judgment, and he didn't realize that he was being suckered. None of this says that he threatened Congress, though.
I haven't read anything about pedophilia either. You know that homosexuality and pedophilia are two different things, right, Adam?
There are a lot of homosexual pedophiles.
What? I feel like there's probably the same ratio of homosexual pedophiles as there are to straight pedophiles. That doesn't make any sense. I think you're just equating homosexuality with pedophilia because
I'm not.
In your mind they're sort of both taboo. Well, I mean, definitely.
I'm not saying
one's
Barney
crime,
Frank was a
but,
pedophile.
like,
I'm saying he threatened to out pedophiles.
Where? Like,
none of that says anything about pedophiles or saying that he was threatening to out pedophiles. Why would he know anybody was a pedophile? He was just having a gay prostitute like ring out of his house. None of that had to do with pedophilia.
I believe that there are pedophiles in Congress.
But there's no proof of that.
And I said that too. I just said I believe it.
But why do you think there are pedophiles in Congress?
Because of this Barney Frank thing, where he threatened.
Oh my God, we're running in circles. But
I don't get
Barney
why you
Frank
don't
said
follow
he was
it.
gonna out
I'm
the
not
pedophile.
saying there's no proof.
There's no proof.
But there's
Why do
nowhere.
why do you think I have proof and are like placing a burden of
There's
proof on
nowhere
me? When all
where
I
it
said
says
was I believe it.
You believe it, but there's no reason to believe it because there's nowhere has anyone mentioned pedophiles, and your only source of information is because of the Barney Frank thing. But the Barney Frank thing was just about gay prostitution and not anything about pedophiles.
That was what it was about. How can you not follow this? You guys are fucking idiots. The gay prostitution thing was what they were accusing Barney Frank of.
Yes.
And he threatened, if you bring charges against me for this, then he is going to bring everyone down with him in Congress.
But
and
there's
he's going to
no
reveal.
record of this threat anywhere.
Yes, there is.
Where is the record? Where is he on record saying, I'm threatening everybody in Congress right now with revealing your pedophilia?
I'll Google it right now.
Hold on, I am.
Barney Frank threatens Congress.
Yeah, the first article that I see says Beyond Pizzagate, Congressman Barney Frank caught in mail threatens to expose Congress. So, I mean,
what is the source
this
of
is
that?
like steamit.com.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rinse.com.
Was it the New York Times?
voat.com. These are the people that are talking about this.
That's the first result.
I've just read the first 4 results.
Okay, there's a Boston.com link. There's a New York Times link.
Hold on. This
Business
Boston.com.
Insider.
Wait,
2005.
say the article names, because it could just be Barney Frank.
I have to read the whole fucking article to find it.
I'm not seeing anything about threatening.
I've never heard of rents.com or steamit.com.
It was all the way from 2005.
I mean, regardless, there's not...
Barney Frank threatens to name names and expose half of Congress' involvement in pedophile rings if they don't stop his investigation into
What's the source
prostitution
of that,
ring run from his apartment. Washington Times, 1989.
Anchor says, there's no evidence, but I believe, so you're also a born-again Christian.
It's not even spelled. It's not even steam it as in like the gas steam. It's STEEM. Steam it.
Well, we couldn't get the other steam it. That was obviously some vacuum cleaner, vacuum shampoo.
Listen, I would be more inclined to believe it if there were some more legitimate sources than steamit.com, but there's, I guess, also Rents, major cover-up suspected in GOP's Pagegate. Is that the same thing?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, regardless. I was going to ask you, Adam, how you felt about Trump recently with all these bomb droppings, because you didn't like the Syria thing.
No, I was absolutely pissed that he bombed Syria.
What about the Moab?
I didn't mind that because it was against ISIS.
But do you think he's on the up and up now? He seems to have flip-flopped on a couple things. I read about the China thing. Like he changed positions on that or something.
I do like what he's doing with China. He's basically making a deal out of it. He's saying, if you help us with North Korea, then we'll give you a better economic deal. Which he's just straight out saying that.
I don't know what he flip-flopped on. I don't follow a lot of the stuff anymore, but like, yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But like, yeah, I know you were upset about Syria, but then like a couple days later, they did the Moab thing and just blew up ISIS.
I still don't get Syria. I mean,
it seems like he stopped altogether with Syria. So like that was just his one play, and I don't understand what his play was because there's a lot of repercussions to doing that kind of action in Syria. But it doesn't seem like there's been any sort of follow-up past that.
Especially because, like,
I mean that airbase that they bombed was the one that dropped the chemicals, and I mean, I don't know. Hey, fuck you guys! Stop dropping chemical warfare on your people.
It was weird for him to criticize Obama for trying to involve in Syria, but then to like just go ahead and
I mean, listen, I don't want to, like, I don't like Trump, but at the same time, I'm not going to shit on anybody for growing. Like sometimes you get into a situation and then you kind of realize, well, fuck, maybe this was the right move all along. Like he didn't know a lot of things. When you're me. Or
yes, it's
Trump,
easy for you to be like an armchair quarterback and just be like, this is where we should be right now. Based on all the information I have. Yeah.
Right. And then you get into it and then you realize, oh shit, this is why we should. So I mean, but like, I don't really,
like Adam was saying, like a lot of his constituents voted him in based on his views ahead of time.
Clearly.
For him to be
but they're also stupid. Like they are people that are sitting back thinking, oh, well, we shouldn't do this. And they don't know anything. They don't really know, except for what they read off of steamit.com and Reddit. And like that, when you get your information there, like just because I read stuff, wherever I read my news, Twitter, MSNBC, Huffington Post, Reddit, wherever it is, that's not at all come close to the full story. Like it's not being there. It's not dealing. It's not, you're not the person that has control over the weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of insight there that we will never have. We don't have it.
Right.
So,
we're never going to get it either.
I mean, yeah, exactly. We just won't. So we can sit back and criticize it one way or the other. The way you look at it is a fucking air base that was dropping chemical weapons on people is destroyed.
I don't have enough information.
I mean, is that not a that's looking at that, is that a good thing? I don't know. It seems like it.
Like on the plus side,
I'm not in it.
On the plus side for me, like I like that, like we sort of took out a base that, like you said, was just delivering chemical weapons. But I don't know. It's a very complex issue.
But there was no investigation done. Like that's what they're saying is that they were delivering chemical weapons. Like the Syrian report was that they bombed a rebel-held chemical weapons facility, and that the chemical weapons they bombed was what spread into the public when they blew it up.
That's unnecessarily.
It was so reactionary.
Yeah. I know that it could be.
If you're surprised at him being reactionary at this point, then you guys voted him in because he was reactionary. So.
Well, the problem is
that's what you love.
The problem is that he's like.
I don't get why you're acting like it's stupid that we would support him saying he doesn't want to get involved in Syria, and then we're mad when he does. When it was Hillary's promise all along to attack Syria, the same one that Trump just attacked.
I mean, it's sort of 50-50. Like a lot of his core constituents are like, some of them are like you, who are like, we shouldn't have been in Syria. I don't know what he's doing. I'm really upset with him. And then other people were like, well, I trust Donald Trump. Like, if he thinks we should be in Syria, we should be in Syria.
No, I'm not, and I'm not trying to act like that. I'm just saying, like, when you make a statement like, oh, it's so reactionary, and you're upset that it's reactionary, when everything that he's done for years is reactionary. That's all he does.
What proof do you have of that?
His Twitter feed?
What Twitter feed, dude? He just
comments?
reacts.
He reacts to things that happen in the news and the media. Like, he just gets on at 4 a.m. and starts tweeting. Like,
he does
you
that.
You can't deny that he is a
people.
reactionary person.
But never before this has he completely changed his policy based on one thing.
He's changed his. He's flip flopped. That's what he's believed one thing and then said another.
I mean, you even said it yourself. Like, in the past, he was more moderate. He was more of a Democrat, and he's changed his views and is now appealing to more conservative Republicans.
No, he's still pretty much a Democrat as they were in the 90s. It's just the Democrats have changed.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is true because I didn't pay attention in the 90s, but.
Well, I mean, when Obama came into office, he said he believed marriage was between a man and a woman. It wasn't until very recently that they started becoming super.
The most successful presidents tend to toe the line with being more moderate, because you can't appease just liberals and you can't appease just conservatives. You kind of get the most stuff done when you are more centered.
The most successful presidents are the ones that are non-committal.
I know. I mean, when they they appeal to both the progressives and they appeal to both and the conservatives. Like they walk the line of those two, and you have to, because those are the two factions that you have to work with.
Right. And plus, it's okay to. I feel like on certain situations, it's okay to show growth.
Yeah, and in this case, and right now, Donald Trump is 100 days or so into his presidency, but if you only appeal to your constituents and you don't work with the people on the other side of the aisle, you're never going to get anything done, because right now Democrats are so opposed to everything that Donald Trump does that it's hard for him to get anything done, that he has to take extreme measures to get anything passed the way he wants it to. But I feel like if you are more of a moderate president who's willing to work with people who are both liberal and conservative, you're going to get stuff done, and maybe he hasn't learned that lesson yet.
But did you see the reaction to the bombing of Syria, or the base in Syria? All the people who hate him were supporting it.
Yeah, because they wanted to get involved in Syria.
But that raises questions for me. So, if all the people who are completely against everything Trump does are now supporting this act, I'm like...
But me, I liked that, he got rid of the base, and I like that, we're trying to help some of the Syrians.
Why do you like that if you don't know everything about it?
But why do you hate it if you don't know everything about it?
Because I don't know everything about it.
We're never going to get the information we need on it. And
it just doesn't make sense to me.
The thing that bugs me the most about it is that it could be the right move, it could be the wrong move. But for me, it appears that Trump is just so reactionary about it that he's not thinking long-term as to what the outcome and the fallout's going to be of it. It seems he just saw pictures of kids on the news that were dying to the chemical weapons and then felt like he had to do something. And that's what's upsetting to me the most.
Maybe, and maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. I mean, it's not. I don't think that Trump was sitting watching his televisions, saw a bunch of kids, and then he went and pressed a button and launched fucking 59 missiles. I don't think that's what happened. I think he sat down. I think that he was in a room full of other people that probably made this decision. He was just the one that said, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." I don't think it was as reactionary as just, well, fuck, I'm getting all emotional here watching this, watching the news. Let me go launch some missiles. Like that's just not how it works. I can't imagine that's how that works.
There are other things to think about too. Like, was he trying to have a show of strength? I mean, he just had dinner with the Chinese president right before he launched the attack. Was he showing strength to Russia too?
I can't imagine the conversation is that he goes into his military experts and he's like, "Listen, I need to look stronger, so we should launch these missiles because I need to look stronger." I feel like there's a lot more that goes into a missile launch other than, how do I look? It's not vanity.
Wasn't there like no casualties? It was all just equipment destroyed.
Yeah, but a lot of our drone strikes are like that. I mean, that's the goal anyway. You try to avoid any casualties you can, and if there are going to be casualties, you make sure they're only military casualties.
I mean, he said it himself in his speeches and the debates leading up to the election that if they take out Assad, we've seen it before. It's something out like they took out Saddam Hussein and we got ISIS. So usually when you take out someone like that, whatever comes next is worse.
I don't know. I mean, nothing's really come of it since. It just happened, and
yeah, and I feel like it just sort of dropped up because a couple days later they did the Moab thing, and then like people just stopped talking about it.
Well, then Bill O'Reilly happened, and then Aaron Hernandez hung himself. So
yeah, it's been a busy week.
I do really think it would be awesome if Bill O'Reilly took his show to InfoWars.
Is InfoWars like a network? Or you mean just like does it with Alex Jones?
Alex Jones runs InfoWars. That's his
outlet.
Are they going to have to change the name to InfoWars Entertainment?
According to his lawyer, maybe.
I mean, it's like they realize this is kind of funny that the news is like wrestling. It's just like at this point when you have Bill O'Reilly, like these are all just entertainment shows. They're not really.
Well, I'm starting to wonder
giving you the news
if Bill O'Reilly is done because clearly he can't do the O'Reilly Factor anymore. Like he's lost all of his advertisers. He's for the moment still has his book publisher, but like I don't think he's announced any plans to write a book. So like it's sort of a moot point. But like he's getting $25 million from Fox News to leave. So is he at his age? I feel like if I was Bill O'Reilly at his age, I would just take the money and just retire.
It would be pretty great, like if you had it's like the IWE on Monday nights and CNNE on CNN SmackDown on Fridays, and then there were pay-per-views
of just the news anchors battling each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all entertainment now.
It's just Rachel Maddow.
I did talk
fights Bill O'Reilly.
I talked about this with Joe last week after the show about how you can't trust any of the cable news. All the cable news is terrible, and how like I actually prefer local news. Like local news.
Well, you also like sites like Steam It and Rinse.
You just Googled something and that was the top result, and you think that's like my favorite site now?
I'm sorry. You're right. You probably want to go vote.co too.
That's just a Vote is like a Reddit sister site.
I don't like.
Sorry, I didn't know. I don't go to the site, so
I don't like any of the news
just an aggregate
shows too because it feels like they're not news shows. It feels like they're just commentary, like news. Not even commentary. It's news opinion shows. Like here's my opinion. I'm going to sell you on it for the next hour, which is why I don't like Bill O'Reilly and I don't like Rachel Maddow because I'd like to form my own opinion based on facts. I don't need you to convince me of what you think my opinion should be.
They have to fill 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like the local news is just an hour or two, and they just give you the facts. They don't tell you how to feel about it.
Anchor is right. Bill O'Reilly will probably do a podcast thing. He'll just start his own network. And and just he'll make all the money.
I don't know how well that's going to work out for him because a lot of his constituents don't. They're older. They're used to watching him on TV. They don't necessarily know what a podcast is.
He's got a pretty young crowd too. Like there's a lot of people that follow Bill O'Reilly. Like I don't think you give him enough credit.
I think he could launch a podcast and probably get some subscribers. I don't think he's going to get the 4 million that he was getting daily at Fox News. I feel like their Fox News average audience is up there. They're 50 plus years old. They don't necessarily know what a podcast is, or if they do, or how to access it.
Well, he still has his radio show he does every day.
He has a radio show?
Yeah, he does a radio show every day
on
the afternoon.
On just like terrestrial radio?
Yeah, it's on like a national show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it pretty much the same show as the O'Reilly Factor?
Pretty much.
It's called the Radio Factor.
Is he losing the the Radio Factor?
I'm sure if it might come down. It's all about the sponsors. So
I mean, it was a pure business decision from Fox. Obviously, Fox didn't care because he's their number one cash cow. But I
did question that because he's not just their number one cash cow. He was the number one rated talk news show of any of them, any network.
He does obviously make them a lot of money. He's been doing this for 20 years or so, and he's probably made them over $1 billion. And I know, like, if it was up to them, they'd just be like, all right, well, why don't you go on vacation? We'll say that you did some training on sexual harassment, and you'll make a statement and you apologize, and we'll come back and we'll do the show. But I think because they're trying to sell, buy some stuff in England, they're trying to buy the Sky Network. Regulators are looking at their books, and the deal could fall through because of this whole scenario. So they just got rid of him.
I do think he'll come back to Fox. Like he'll just be
like a commentator.
No, he'll do his radio show just for a while and be completely off TV till people forget, and then they'll bring him back.
What, like Brian Williams?
Yeah.
Joe, you got that song ready?
Yeah. Is it Good Goodbye?
Yeah. So I think everybody here remembers Linkin Park. Like we remember Crawling in the Dark.
Crawling in my skin. These wounds that
in my skin.
Heal.
That's right. That's right. What was that other one? The slow one that everybody loved?
Wake Me Up When September Ends?
No.
No, that's Green
Day.
No,
they had a huge, and they were kind of a
What I've Done, Bleed It Out, Breaking the Habit, all those.
Yeah. Like massive hits that everybody loved. And they blended the rap in with the alternative. What do you call it? Were they new metal or rock or what was that?
I didn't know how to classify them. They're just on Octane.
Were you a fan of Linkin Park there, Adam?
No, I never really liked them.
No, not really?
Who didn't love Linkin Park? I still listen to them sometimes.
I feel like when Hybrid Theory came out, like everybody had Hybrid Theory.
I mean, I didn't like the guy's voice. Like it was too whiny, screamy for me.
The thing that I liked about Chester's voice was like his cleans were really clean, and he had that really nice raspy scream that you could understand too. Like it wasn't like too crazy where you couldn't understand what they were, what he was saying.
According to Spotify, their number one song is "What I've Done," not "Crawling in My Skin."
Yeah, but so I guess they're releasing some new songs, and I wanted you guys to hear this because I don't even know. Like this is unrecognizable. I mean, bands change. They do, and they evolve, and their sounds, but they always they have a little tinge of like the Paramore, right? The Paramore she's still got a little sound of Paramore. She's gotten a lot more poppier, and a lot of things have changed, but there's still a hint of Paramore. She's still there. This, just play it, Joe. You get this. Listen to a little bit of this.
So say goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear. You better have some place to go, 'cause you can't come back around.
the rhythm, it's something wild, venomous. Enemies trying to read me, you're all looking highly illiterate. Blind ain't forgetting, if I'm in the mix, you won't find an equivalent. I've been here killing it longer than you've been alive, you idiot. And it makes you so mad, somebody else could be stepping in front of you. And it makes you so mad that you're not the only one, there's more than one of you. And you can't understand the fact that it's over and done. Hope you had fun, you got a lot to discuss on the bus headed back where you're from.
So say goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear. You better have some place to go.
So, I mean, you can pause it, I guess, at this point.
Come back around here. Goodbye.
I don't know. I keep waiting for it to drop or something.
Right. Like, so pause it for a second. I just, it's not even, there's no Linkin Park there. There's not even a hint of it.
It sort of feels like they went EDM a little bit. And then,
Yeah. I was just going to say, it sounds like they went electronic.
It sounds like every other, like, rap art, like, whatever else is, Flow Rida.
I love this comment. It's like, this is not Linkin Park, it's shit. And then somebody wrote underneath it, this is Linkin Park, now and always.
Yeah, I don't know. And I've been, like, when I saw their first song that they announced, like, it was last month, and I remember listening to it, and I was like, oh, this is, where are they at? You know, and every song they've released since then has just been like this.
Has it been, is it this, off the new album?
Yeah, I guess so. This is their new album right here.
A lot of people in the YouTube comments either don't like it because it's not rock or like it now. They're like, oh, now I like Linkin Park.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely just switched. You know, they've changed their format altogether, which is, again, fine. But, I mean, why not at this point change your name? Like, change the band name. Because if you are... The only reason that you keep the Linkin Park name is because you want Linkin Park fans to, you know, hey, well, yeah, it's still here. You guys still got it, you know? Like, just change your fucking band name and, you know, go be Flow Rida.
Featuring Pusha T and Stormzy. I've never heard of any of those people.
Yeah, I was just a little disappointed.
It comes out the same day as our Metallica concert.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What day is our Metallica concert?
May 19th.
May 19th. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, Linkin Park album, and we'll be tailgating to it at the Metallica concert.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Well, you know, do some final thoughts, get the fridge out of here.
Well, I think our first collective final thought is happy birthday, Matt.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
Adam?
So while we were listening to Linkin Park, I read through this whole Boston Globe article.
Oh, God. All right, hit us with it.
Back in 1985, Barney Frank had engaged in services of a male escort named Stephen Goby, who had advertised his hot bottom in a personal ad.
Nice.
Frank hired Goby, despite knowing Goby was on probation for drug possession and for possession of child pornography. Frank used his house privileges to fix Goby's parking tickets. He wrote a memo to clear Goby from the probation that was outright deception. That was disingenuous at best and outright deception at worst. Goby repaid Frank by running a prostitution service out of Frank's Capitol Hill apartment, yada, yada, yada. When Frank discovered this, he ended the relationship. Let's skip to the public outcry. Frank confirmed the details of the relationship and the financial and other favors he'd done, but denied that he'd been aware of the prostitution ring in his apartment. Frank's Massachusetts friends were shaken. The Boston Globe called for Frank to resign. Instead, Frank admitted what he'd done, denied what he hadn't, took his case to the House, which recommended a full reprimand. He wanted to rehabilitate himself. When Republican aides began circulating rumors that then Speaker Thomas Foley was gay, Frank called a press conference and said that if the whispers didn't stop, he would publicly out any Republican member of Congress whom he knew to be gay. That was the threat.
I mean,
the whispers then stopped.
Yeah, because they don't want to be outed as gay in Congress.
So that has nothing to do with prostitution ring or pedophilia rings.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with it?
Well, he's not outing a prostitution ring or a pedophilia ring. He's outing people as being gay.
Listen,
the
you Republicans
ring
that are
being run out of his apartment.
Yes, but he's not outing anybody for being in a prostitution ring or for being a pedophilia. It has nothing to do with that.
He knew that there was a prostitution ring being run out of his. He didn't know that, and when he found out, he outed himself. Like he stepped up. He's not saying that these people, that the Republicans were involved in the prostitution ring. It's not like he was coming to his house. Oh fuck! There's the Mr. Republican Joe.
I didn't say they were involved with
Joe,
it.
Thanks for that.
I said.
Oh yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No,
you
I
said
never
they were
said that.
involved with it.
The one running out of his apartment? No, I didn't.
No, you said that
I said
they were going to out the other. You said they were going to out Congress, or he was going to out Congress for being involved in prostitution rings and pedophilia rings.
This originally started because you said you believed that there was a pedophilia ring. It just wasn't run at a pizza place, and then you mentioned Barney Frank. So you clearly thought there was some sort of pedophilia thing in there.
I think there are pedophiles in Congress. Just
okay, that's fine. But you said
Anthony
that
Weiner's facing
this
charges
Barney
right now.
Frank thing was proof that there was, and all he did was say, if any of these Republicans, if they don't back down, I'm going to out that they're gay.
Yeah.
Okay, so all he knew that some of the Republicans were gay.
That's why I believe there could be truth to it.
What? Because how does that make any sense?
How does it not make sense?
Because they're gay, there's obviously pedophiles?
I said there could be.
Adam, that doesn't make any sense.
How does it not make sense? Anthony Weiner's facing child porn charges right now.
Hold on, Adam. If I say just a blanket statement of there could be pedophiles in Congress, okay, you're right. There could be pedophiles in Congress. That's where it ends. It's not... There's pedophiles.
I said, okay, I believe that.
It can't be, oh, there's pedophiles in Congress. Oh, what makes you think that? Because of Barney Frank.
Why can't I say that?
Why does
Barney Frank has nothing to do with pedophiles, and he didn't threaten to expose any pedophiles.
His boyfriend was a pedophile.
But no, he wasn't.
He was on probation for child pornography.
Even if he was, it doesn't have anything to do with Barney Frank. He's not a pedophile.
Right.
I didn't say he
wasn't
was.
going to out any pedophile.
I'm saying they were trying to kick him out of Congress for being associated with that guy, which he refused to accept, and said he would out any Republican member of Congress who he knew was gay.
Okay. Still, that has nothing to do with prostitution rings and pedophile rings. That's not what...
What do you keep going back to? It has nothing
because
to do with this.
Because that's what you said. That is what you said.
I just stated what I said.
I
said I believe.
I think Aaron Hernandez makes a good point that there are probably a certain percentage of pedophiles and homosexuals in every line of work, like steel workers and truck drivers.
All I said was I believe that there could be truth to the stories that there are pedophiles in Congress.
That's right. It started out with Pizzagate, and you said, oh, it's definitely not at that pizza place, but it's in Congress. And I said, what makes you think that? What proof do you have? You then said Barney Frank.
What makes you think I have proof?
I said, what would make you think that? Like, what? That's what I was asking. Is like, what proof do you have, or what makes you think that there are pedophiles in Congress? And then you brought up Barney Frank.
Okay, so you are following me.
But that doesn't make any sense. Barney Frank has nothing to do with the pedophiles.
He threatened to out...
He did not threaten to out pedophiles, Adam. He didn't.
He threatened to out the gays in Congress, I'm sure some of them were pedophiles.
Okay. That's the link, yes. We've discovered.
You realize how dumb that is.
No, that's not dumb at all. I don't know how you can't follow this.
You've just associated homosexuals with pedophiles because you're saying that they're one and the same. You do realize that.
I didn't say homosexuals and pedophiles are one and the same, but a lot of...
You're saying a lot of them are, so you believe that that is true.
A lot of pedophiles are gay.
What? No, I don't know that that's true, for one. Where's your data on that? And not
Where's
just
your data that it's not true?
All I'm asking is for you to prove that all homosexuals are pedophiles.
Adam, I don't have proof.
You're asking me to prove that all homosexuals are pedophiles?
That's what you're saying.
I never said that. I said a lot of pedophiles are gay.
You don't know that, though.
How do you know that they're not gay?
So that's...
Okay, I don't have proof that there's a majority of pedophiles that are homosexuals. All right? I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. I don't have that proof. But I would love to know where your facts come from that your statement of a lot of it's just a lot of pedophiles.
Barney Frank's boyfriend that got him in trouble was a pedophile.
I don't see how that's related to anything, though.
You're right. None of that is related to
one
this at
person
all.
is a pedophile, so yes, naturally that means other people are also pedophiles. Like, that's like saying if you found out your sister was a pedophile, then we should be worried that every member of your family is a pedophile.
Yeah. One person is a pedophile. That must mean there's other pedophiles.
That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying, well, his boyfriend was a pedophile, so that means he knows pedophiles. He's clearly associating with pedophiles.
You guys are ridiculous.
You do realize that's the logic you're presenting, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Wait, who's the guy? What was his name? Fuck. What was that guy's name? What was the Penn State guy?
Sandusky.
Sandusky. So what was Sandusky's role?
He was a gay pedophile.
What was his role? Like, what was his job?
He was the ass fucker.
Wasn't he like an assistant coach or something?
Assistant coach. Yeah. So all assistant coaches are homosexual pedophiles. I'm getting it now, Adam.
That's your lead? All assistant coaches?
Yeah. I'm not saying all. I'm saying a lot.
A lot.
So by your logic, all members of Congress are gay pedophiles.
Yeah. Well, I mean
that's your
Barney
logic.
was going to out all of Congress as being pedophiles. Homosexual pedophiles. Barney Frank.
That's your logic, that all members of Congress are homosexual
I'm following
pedophiles.
your logic. I'm getting there.
No, that's not my logic. That's most definitely not my logic.
You said a lot. You're right. I said all of Congress, not all. I'm going to use your words. A lot.
A lot of Congress is gay pedophiles.
Yes. I understand now. I see where you're coming from.
My logic was a lot of pedophiles are gay.
I find it funny that all right. I guess that's where we'll end that. Joe, final thoughts, buddy?
I've been really disappointed with Dunkin' Donuts recently because they keep getting my order wrong, and I don't know why. It's like on a consistent basis. Like, my order is wrong. Like, I'll get a large and they'll give me a medium, or I'll ask for just cream and I'll get cream and sugar. Or today I asked for a large hot chocolate and a chocolate chip muffin, and I got a medium coffee and a plain donut.
Because you probably say it ridiculous. Like, can I get a medium but one size bigger?
If only I could understand them being confused with that. It's just, I don't know why I keep going back to it. Like, you would think, like, after a couple times I would just stop and be like, cut my losses, don't go to Dunkin' Donuts anymore. But it's like the next day I got to roll the dice again and see what they're going to get wrong about my order.
Why don't you go get the unicorn frappuccino?
Because there's no, like, easy, like, Starbucks drive-through for me to... I don't even know what it is. I just see people using the filter. Like, is it some sort of fruit drink?
Well, it's frappuccino, but it's like...
The unicorn frappuccino?
Oh, you know what? I have... So, what is that? I have seen a weird drink that's been floating around with fruit in it. I see somebody drinking those.
Yeah, it's like a rainbow-colored frappuccino, and I don't know anything about it except that it's called the unicorn frappuccino, and Starbucks sells it. Huh. And there's like a Snapchat lens that is basically promoting it. And
Does it have fruit in it? It has fruit?
I have no idea what it is. Like, I'm curious, but like, I'm not curious enough to go to a Starbucks and pay $7 for a Frappuccino.
Sure.
And let me look it up really quick. But my main point is that I don't know why I'm torturing myself by going back to, and there are like half a dozen Dunkin' Donuts around me, and they're all just as bad. And I don't know why I keep going back. And
Dunkin' Donuts is like, I mean, their coffee is really good when it's good, but they are by far like the worst fast food restaurant ever.
The quality control is miserable because sometimes it's like they get the order right, but the coffee just tastes awful. Like, you know, it's been sitting for a while, or they just didn't brew the pot correctly.
It's awful. Like no cup of coffee tastes the same. It's like one's really good, one's dog shit. One's okay. Like, one's in between dog shit and okay. One's in between okay and the best cup I've had. Like, they always find a different way. Like this morning, I ordered. I always order my coffee with the almond milk.
Yeah.
So I did a medium iced coffee with almond milk. Like, that's my typical order. So usually it's a dark colored coffee because they use the same amount of like a little amount of almond milk, and then the rest is coffee. But I guess the person who made this particular cup this morning was like, "Oh shit, this doesn't look like a coffee with cream in it." So they poured, like, I swear, like probably 3/4 of it was almond milk, and then there was a splash of coffee. It looked like an extra, and I was like, I looked at the lady. I said, "Oh, is that almond milk or is that cream?" And she said, "Oh, it is almond milk." And I said, "Can I get a lot less of it?"
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they make you feel bad for requesting another one, but I'm like, I'm paying you $3 for a coffee. Could you just like make it correctly? Like, put the right coconut shot in, or use less cream, or use, like you said, less almond milk. Like, it's just ridiculous.
They're terrible. Their consistency is god awful.
Yeah, and I just don't know why I keep rewarding them with more business when, like, it's like, I want that good cup of coffee, and I'm willing to risk it, even though it costs me like $4 each time.
Well, it's always great when you find the one Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this one's really good, I'm gonna go there.
But even then, it's like it's good at like that one day of the week when that one person is working.
Exactly.
So the unicorn frappuccino is apparently a flavor changing frappuccino. They mix sweet and fruity stuff, and then it turns sour, and you swirl it around, and it changes colors between purple and pink in flavors.
Huh.
And apparently, it's sprinkled with pink and blue fairy powders.
It looks like it has a whole bag of sugar in it.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably.
They're gonna say it had a whole bag of shit in it.
It's probably the worst thing you can drink.
My final thought for the evening is I'm trying to think of what shows I've powered through. I started watching Better Call Saul.
Weren't you watching that last year? It was on my Plex server for a while for you.
Yeah, I did. The new season's out. It just started last week. So this past episode is a really good one for Breaking Bad fans. If you're a huge Breaking Bad fan,
is it because Gus Fring comes back?
That is true. Yeah.
I just saw the promotions where I don't watch the show. I never finished Breaking Bad. I was watching it with somebody, and then it stopped.
Did they call Saul in this episode?
No, everybody just runs around going, "You better call him."
That's the whole
Nobody
show.
actually ever makes the call.
It's just people giving out the little business cards that says "Call Saul."
Oh, shit! I got rear-ended. Well, you know what you should do is you better call Saul.
Has anybody from the original like Breaking Bad series showed up aside from?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of this season, a lot of throwbacks, a lot of old characters coming up. It's pretty good. It's fun.
That's good. Is like how far back is it from the show?
I forget the time frame. It's not a crazy amount of time. You know what else I started watching that I really liked? The new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, how is that?
Dude, I love it. I don't know if you guys have watched any of the episodes.
I haven't watched anything.
I watched Reptilicus, and really liked Reptilicus a lot. It was a lot of fun. And then the most recent one that I watched was Avalanche, which had Rock Hudson and Mia Farrow in it.
I thought the whole point of them stopping Mystery Science Theaters because they ran out of like those old movies.
Oh, I don't think that could be possible.
Oh.
I just feel like there's so many of them out there. Like I'm sure they could find so many old, terrible movies that, low budget, to do that with. But
can't they move on to new movies?
I like the campy movies. Like I watched one, The Time Travelers. It was really good. The lines are funny. The pop culture stuff is really funny. I highly recommend it. Patton Oswalt, I love him. Whoever that broad is, the evil broad, the blonde chick. She's pretty funny.
I tried to watch the Stranger Things promo they did. Did you watch that?
I did not.
Where they watched the first couple minutes of Stranger Things. It's just weird to get used to all the voices that are different now.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like I'm not upset about it. Did you see? Or who's that guy? What's the name of that guy? Is his name Noah?
For which guy?
The main guy.
Oh, the new one? I have no idea what his name is. It's not Joel, who was the original one, and it's not Mike, who is the second one. So I don't know who the guy is.
Yeah.
Is it like do they try to like continue it like from the old series? Like is this like a continuation or they just do their own thing?
Different. Yeah, it's kind of a different story. All right. Well, that's what I got. There it is. There's our show.
Yay, it's Matt's birthday.
Guys, follow us on Twitter at the LotusCast, Instagram the LotusCast. Make sure you check out strangelabel.com. Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks. Monday nights. Great show over there. Next week is going to be the drafting of the Hollywood Fantasy League for summer. I think we're going to come in second place.
Yeah, because of Fast and Furious, or Fate and Furious. I saw it the other day with Dave, actually.
Yeah, Fate of the Furious is probably going to knock us out. Depends on how much money the Lost City of Z makes.
Do you want to hear Dave's short review of it?
Sure.
I don't think I'll watch it as much as I've watched the other movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If that's of any indication to you.
It's still good.
I heard the violence is at an all-time high and the car racing is at an all-time low in this one.
There was not a lot of car racing, and there was, yes, more violence. But I've only seen like one or two of the movies, so I don't know how it rates amongst the others. But there is a point where they're going to the Russian tundra, and they decide, like one of the guys, Ludacris, decides, or maybe it's the other black guy, whatever his name is, but he decides he's going to take an orange Lamborghini, and it doesn't seem like it's the best idea because he's just driving over snow and ice. And
does he have winter tires?
No, and at some point he loses control and it starts spinning out. And they're all joking like, "Guess you didn't put those winter tires on, huh? Guess the Lambo wasn't a great idea, huh?" Because they're all driving tanks.
But he looked cool.
Huh.
Yeah, but he did.
Look cool. It's kind of a odd commentary on black society.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So check all that stuff out. Strangelabel.com.
Are you saying blacks only care about image?
I didn't say that at all.
And not utility?
That's not at all what I said.
That is what you said.
Well, I just said it's an odd commentary.
Who's this?
Sounds like a shit Linkin Park song. All right, guys. Until next week, go fuck yourselves.
Blind ain't forgetting if I'm in the mix, you won't find an equivalent. I've been here killing it longer than you've been alive, you idiot. And it makes you so mad, somebody else could be stepping in front of you. And it makes you so mad that you're not the only one, there's more than one of you. And you can't understand the fact that it's over and done. Hope you had fun, you got a lot to discuss on the bus headed back where you're from.
So say goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear. You better have some place to go, 'cause you can't come back around here. Goodbye. Goodbye.
days. A period is after every sentence. Did my time with my cellmate. Maxed out, so now we finished. Every day was like a hell day. Every night was like a hailstorm. Took her back to my tinted window, showing now she in rare form. Wings up, now I'm airborne. King push, they got a chair form. Make way for the new queen. The old lined up where they cheer form. Consequence when you ain't there for 'em. Were you there for 'em? Did you care for 'em? You were dead wrong.
So say goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear. You better have some place to go, 'cause you can't come back around here. Good goodbye. Good goodbye. Good goodbye. Good goodbye.
Yo, let me say goodbye to my demons. Let me say goodbye to my past life. Let me say goodbye to the darkness. Tell them that I'd rather be here in the starlight. Tell them that I'd rather be here where they love me. Tell them that I'm yours, this is our life. And I still keep raising the bar like never seen a young black brother in the chart twice. Goodbye to the stereotypes. You can't tell my kings we can't. Man, and we're linking things in parks. Now I got a tune with Linkin Park. Like goodbye to my old hoes. Goodbye to the cold roads. I can't die from my postcode. Young little Mike from the Gold Coast. And now I'm inside with my bro. Yeah.